was on the call, and Teddy Atlas was at his finest throughout this fight. So much to chew on here, Teddy. You're right in what you said at the end with Joe Tess. I mean, Jeff Horn fought a terrific fight, showed every great quality except being victorious, except winning, which in the end the judges saw fit that he won the fight tonight.
It's a corrupt sport. I've been in sport 45 years. I'm sorry. You know, I don't know how to talk in those twisted ways, you know, to be cute and get your point around without telling the truth. I only know one way. You know, go through the front door, tell the truth. It's a little blunt. It's a little uncomfortable sometimes, but we have a corrupt sport. You know, it's only one of two things. It's either incompetence or corruption. And when you see one... corruption. And when you see 117 to whatever it was, 110, 111, I don't think anyone could be that incompetent. I'm sorry. If you know the sport, you watch the sport, you can't be that incompetent. You see who's landing clean, who's just throwing, who's not landing clean, who almost got knocked out. You can't be that incompetent. So what else could it be? Corruption. Corruption. Nothing else. So I'm sorry. I love this sport. It's the greatest sport in the world. It was a great day. It was a great night back in where you guys are. It was great for the fans out there to get it on free TV. And I'm not patting us on the back, but it was brought back to free TV where boxing belongs to everybody, where everyone can see it. And it was great. And it was great theater. And there's no theater like boxing. Nothing. But the decision stunk.
Teddy Atlas, Stephen A.
Stunk.
Teddy Atlas, Stephen A. Smith here. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you for saying what you said, and thank you for the great job you did tonight on the fight, or out there in the morning, actually. But let me ask you this question. You said that it's either incompetence or corruption, and clearly they can't be that incompetent. So you're basically accusing them of being corrupt, which, fine, I'm good with that. My question to you would be, why do you think that took place in this fight? What's the angle? What's the motivation behind robbing Manny Pacquiao the way he was clearly robbed tonight?
Well, you have a kid, you know, in with the new, out with the old, back doors. I don't know. But you have a young kid who obviously can make money here. We know Manny has made money for years, but Manny's on his way out a little bit. After the Manny fight with Mayweather, let's be honest, you know, people were a little down on both those fighters. They weren't really happy with that performance. Everyone came out. They even paid to go to the weigh-in. And they even paid $100 for pay-per-view for that. But they were disappointed. They felt like they were ripped off when they saw that fight. So he's on his way out. Here you got a young, vibrant kid in a place like Australia where you can bring 55,000 people in. I don't know. You fill in the rest of the answers, Stephen, because you're smarter than me.
If you bet $1 tonight on Jeff Horn, for example, you got $5 back. You know, we have neutral site college football games. Tonight would not have been the same in a neutral site situation. You need to fight this in Brisbane to have 55,000 people there, right? Jeff Horn doesn't get this fight in Las Vegas, for example. So there's the good and the bad. So is this, in the end, with everything you said that was great about today and tonight in the ring and on ESPN, is this a bad night for boxing then?
You know, that's a great question, Stephen. And everyone thought it was going to be a great night with Mayweather. We just talked about it. Mayweather and Pacquiao. And it was great up to the moment that the fight took place. It was great. Everyone talked about the sport. It was relevant again. It was on the front pages. Everyone was on everyone's lips. People in water fountains, in businesses, they were all talking about it. So it was great. But then it happened. And it wasn't great. It did a lot of damage. It chased a lot of people away. This was a bad decision, not a bad fight. That's the difference. This was a good fight. That, at the end of the day, resonates with boxing fans. They like upsets. They say the underdog has a chance to win. Even if it's corruption, he's got a chance to win. They watching something where it's not for a foregone conclusion of what's going to happen. Nobody wants to watch a movie when they know what the end is. Nobody. So that's the thing that this was different.
Well, Teddy.
They got to watch him fight, and yeah, it was the wrong decision, but the people were happy to see maybe a change of guard, an upset, and most importantly, a dramatic fight.
Help
so
me
that
out.
way it's good for boxing.
Reality television at its best tonight.
Teddy, help me out here. Was it a great fight because it was a great fight? Or was it a great fight because the expectations were so low that Jeff Horn turns out and he's game all night long and survived, and because of that, that's what made it so great, that he exceeded expectations as opposed to it actually being a great fight.
Bang! Bingo! That's why you get paid the big bucks. Steven, you're right. It was a sloppy fight in a lot of ways. It was a 38-year-old who's sliding out the door a little bit. There were punches like this. That doesn't usually mean a great fight. But there was drama. And there was an upset. And there was a great crowd here. And the unexpected happened. Absolutely right.
Teddy, you're the best. Thank you.
Yes, you are. Thank you, buddy.
Teddy Atlas from Brisbane. People very, very unhappy about this decision, both in the Philippines and back in America.
Yeah, but, overall, I thought it was a good fight. I think Horn fought very well. He's a little bit rougher than I thought he was, maybe a little bit more physical than I thought he was. And I think, like, every time you come out of a clinch and a headlock, something's wrong there. But I don't know if the referee couldn't control that or what it was. But, I thought it was a pretty close fight, though. I thought Manny had a real good round in the ninth. I thought it was maybe a 2-point round. And I just told Manny, give me one more of them and the fight's over and it's done. But he just couldn't do it. And we lost the decision, I'm not a
against him with Manny?
Well, I thought Manny won both fights, but I know this is more of a rubber match now. But Bradley's got a new trainer, and everyone's making a big deal about that. I think he is more of a cheerleader in the corner, and I'm not afraid of firemen or fire or whatever he's not afraid of. And I have a couple of guys that work out here that are firemen, and I think it was disrespectful to real firemen that what he said. So,
Do you know Teddy personally?
I know Teddy personally, yeah.
You go back with him.
I've had a couple of altercations with him, and not well. But that's not why I want Manny to win the fight. It has nothing to do with Teddy Atlas, and I really don't care what Teddy does. I know he's been working for ESPN as an announcer for a long time.
What do you think his mindset is right now?
I'm going to have a long talk with him over that, because I think maybe being a senator, maybe being a fighter, both is just maybe too much. We didn't have enough time in training camp. The beginning of training camp was not so well. The sparring was bad. He was too light. And then when I came in and we went to General Santos, it was a lot easier because he only had one job. So I'm going to have a long talk with Manny and discuss this and see how he feels. And I'm going to give him my feelings on it too, because I'm a little bit in the middle right now because he didn't fight badly or anything like that. He did well in some of the rounds and so forth, but he just wasn't consistent enough for what I want.
He's a 38-year-old.